Michael Jordan is returning for Space Jam 2, but what will his role be in the movie? That's what we're going to discuss on today's show. Hey, it's me, AP, and welcome to the Saturday Movie Show, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely Saturday today. It's a rather miserable day here in the UK. It's very rainy, very wet. Not at all a great week here in the UK, but you know what? There's movies still being released. We got the cinemas opening this week in the UK, which is good news for a lot of people who enjoy going to the cinemas. So there's definitely some positives in life. And you know what? Today we're going to discuss some positive news of Michael Jordan returning to the Space Jam franchise. That is a topic I'm looking forward to talking about today. I like the first movie, but let's lead that chat first of all to the main headline topic of the day. Let's talk about, first of all, some housekeeping. I'm going to put housekeeping. This is a new route of the show now, new location of the housekeeping section of the show. But I thought instead, at the start of the show, we're going to do the opening chit chat, and we're going to do a bit of housekeeping in regards to everything that's going on related to the channel, related to the podcast, and just discussing, whatever else is on the housekeeping bulletin board, if you like. So this week, I've been filming some more content, new content for the channel, and it's been really cool. I shot 4 videos. I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday this week. Shot 4 videos, and I've mentioned this a few times now. I'm getting to this process now with filming content where I film a month's worth of content straight away, and then I shoot like the Saturday movie show on Saturday, which is fun. The long-term plan, realistically, is I shoot about 6 videos, 6 weeks worth of videos, and if it's like I say that every time, it's like a muscle. You're building up this muscle now for filming videos, because anyone who knows, if you're filming content, if you're doing like more than one video, it can become tiresome and you sort of like lose your edge, so to speak. I find anyway. That's my personal opinion. If I'm doing, like, initially I'd only do like 1 video a week, and then it was 2 videos a week, and then 3, and now 4. And like I said, if I can get up to 6 videos, film 6 videos, 6 weeks worth of normal content, that would be awesome. And I feel like I'm definitely going to get there, because I do like a full-on filming day and then a full-on editing day. And it's just then good, because I can work on other things and work on making the podcast better, making Patreon content better, making just any other type of content better. Just gives me more time to work on other sides of the channel and the podcasting side of things as well, which is cool. But yeah, shot 4 videos this week. They're all really fun videos, fun topics. We got some discussions around physical media products, and we got the discussing movie lists, as always. A lot of movie lists on the way. I really enjoy doing the movie lists. We did all the sort of like the movie sequel ones and the trilogies. Done all them, and I'm sort of like rehashing over some of them. I had one come out this week, the 4th in the franchise movies, which was a fun video to make. It's great as always to see the comments in all videos. It's fantastic to see. I love just talking to people within this community about the content we're putting out and stuff, and it's really cool. But like I said, the long term plan is, if I can get 6 videos done in a week, do the podcast then live, and that would be so much easier, in all honesty. I've noticed this over the past couple of weeks, and this has been like a thing that is like lingering in my brain, where it's just, I keep on thinking, if I could just do the podcast live, this would be so much easier, because I wouldn't have to do the editing then. It's just on there. When it's on, it's done and dusted. And that's the plan now. Really, the only drawback really for me is at this moment in time is just where to film it, really, because I film in this room here, and there's not an internet connection here. It goes through one of them little devices. So I have them little devices where it sort of sends the connection from upstairs. So it's like extends your internet browser. And it is a bit sketchy at times, so I can't really rely on it in here. So if I shot in here, the podcast live, it might work fine for about 10-20 minutes, and then the internet could just go down, the podcast is down. So I need to do a bit of like planning logistically and suss out maybe if it's a case of getting wiring down here. I don't know if that's, getting a super long cable. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. How would you do it if you're doing podcasts live, videos live? Do I get a super long cable going from upstairs to downstairs? Do I reshuffle, go into the room? Because it's in my bedroom where it is, and I don't think it's not really set out. I suppose I could move some of the stuff around, but I kind of like keeping my bedroom to be in a bedroom and not being the place where I film YouTube videos. So look, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Should I get a big long cable? Is there an alternative to getting better internet in rooms where the internet does not stretch out to via Wi-Fi? Let me know all your suggestions on that. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, so it's been fun. Last week's show as well, I think, was very fun. A really fun video to do. And I mentioned this last week. So last week we did the best of Batman. Who is the best Batman? And my final choice was Ben Affleck. And it's definitely a good show. Watch that show if you're not seeing that show. Check it out and check my reasonings behind why I think Ben Affleck is the best Batman. Last week's podcast, though, I really enjoyed doing it. And it was like a 50-minute show. It felt like a 10-minute show because it felt like I enjoyed how much it went so quickly. And they're the shows I really do enjoy. I know I've got a good show there. And they're the ones I really do enjoy because it's a topic that is not just so much in what's in today's news. And maybe today is one of those shows where it is talking about a newsworthy topic with Michael Jordan returning to the Space Jam franchise. And I'm not against doing these videos, and I will still do these. I mean, maybe call me a hypocrite because I say one thing and then I do the other thing. I think it's just find the balance of both, really, for the podcast videos and seeing what people like more. And I think in future, if people do like them videos where we hit topics more, that is what we will do in the channel, and rather than doing these sort of news ones. But who knows? Who knows? But either way, last week's video was great, and it was just great to see the comments and the interaction with that video was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Just seeing other people's views on who is the best Batman. I got the feeling that everyone thought Michael Keaton. Well, everyone has the opinion that Michael Keaton is the best Batman, and that is cool. I ranked him down pretty lowly, and but luckily, no one gave me any stick. No one gave me any stick about it. Everyone was kind within the community, which was cool. It was awesome. So definitely, if you've not seen that video, check out last week's Saturday movie show. A really good episode of the Saturday movie show, in my opinion. A fun one anyway. Fun one for me. So anyway, let's head on to today. Let's walk over to today's headline topic. So Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. It is going to be released on HBO Max and to available cinemas in July, the 16th of July. But it's been reported this week. So I read an article on Screenrant today, and basically here it is. In a recent interview with Access Hollywood, this is a Screenrant article, I'll link it in below, Don Cheadle, who is starring in the movie as the villain, was asked if Michael Jordan will appear in the new film. Cheadle answered Michael Jordan is in the movie, but not in the way you'd expect it. And he didn't really say anything else on that topic. So, let's see. So, Michael Jordan is returning. What is his role going to be in the movie? What are we thinking here? What are we going to see Michael Jordan? Am I excited to be seeing Michael Jordan? First off, I suppose coming from being a British guy who doesn't really throw himself into American sports that much. I watch the Super Bowls, the NFL, once a year. I've never really watched basketball. So Michael Jordan is a guy I think certain sports stars, sports entertainers, they sort of go past just being a sports star and they become a name. I suppose in the UK you've got like David Beckham, and like you have around the world like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Tom Brady in the NFL. And I think like LeBron James, who's starring as the new star of Space Jam 2: New Legacy. Michael Jordan was like that in the 90s. He was definitely a name that even if you didn't watch basketball, and I didn't as a kid, and even as someone who lives in the UK, you knew who that name was. You knew that he was a basketball player. I remember like video games, you'd see his face on video games, and you know, he was a guy everyone knew who Michael Jordan is. If someone said Michael Jordan, you'd be like, yeah, I know who he is. He's the basketball guy, And so am I excited to see him in this new movie? I enjoyed him in the first movie. I thought he was great in that first movie. I liked Space Jam, the first one. I think, look, it's going to be a cameo, isn't it? It's not going to be a full-on role for Michael Jordan in this movie. I think the idea is, though, now, I mean, what's his role going to be? Is he going to be just like a photo of Michael Jordan? I was reading through on Wikipedia the cast list for this movie, right? So you got LeBron James playing himself, same way Michael Jordan played himself in the first movie. And then they've got a young actor playing a young version of LeBron James. So is it like, are we going to see the young version of LeBron James interact with Michael Jordan maybe around the time of the first Space Jam movie? That would be cool. I would like to see something like that. Maybe it's like a case where, because, they can de-age now, so they could make Michael Jordan look like Michael Jordan of the 90s. It was in 1996 the original was released. They could de-age him down, right? Have him where we have a scene where he's just coming back from Space Jam, or he mentions like Bugs Bunny to someone, or he's with Bugs Bunny, or there's some sort of like link to the first movie like that, and then LeBron James maybe sees him. I don't know. I think that would be quite cool. I was thinking about this before, like how you could do it, and I think the de-aging is it's a goldmine, really. You can do so much with that. Maybe they'll go around that route. I suppose the other route is what is being speculated. He could be an animated character in the movie, where he has like an animated role, because there is animation in this movie. If you look at the trailers, LeBron James for a period is in that like sort of Looney Tunes 2D style of animation. So maybe we see Michael Jordan briefly as an animated character, or it could be just like it could be just video footage, stock footage of Michael Jordan playing basketball and LeBron James as the kid watching Michael Jordan, his hero, on TV. We could just see generally see it like a statue or a photo or something like that. My personal view is we're just going to see. I mean, the last one is we could just see Michael Jordan as Michael Jordan. He comes in for a quick cameo, or he joins the team in the end, the Looney Squad or whatever it is. The Toon Squad, that's the one. Toon Squad. Maybe that happens. I think the one I would like to see is a de-aging one. I'd like to see Michael Jordan de-aged and have a link to the first Space Jam movie, and have some sort of like the crossing of the paths, and then maybe LeBron James sort of like forgets it, and when he gets older, he has that realization that, oh yeah, I met Michael Jordan, and he was with Bugs Bunny, or he mentions something about the Looney Tunes, and it's sort of like it all clicks into him then, and it's like, wow, Michael Jordan did this before. He's been here. He did this basketball game thing 20 years ago. I think that would be cool. I would definitely settle for maybe an animated cameo, or just a walk-in at some point, but I would like that de-aging sort of move. I think that'd be really cool to see on screen, and just to have that link between both movies, because other than that, it's the same premise, but is there going to be much link between the two movies? So if we have that link in, that could be really nicer. You feel like they are like one after another, two movies that are actually connected together as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited either way. I think it's cool that they're honouring the first movie as well in giving Michael Jordan. I think it was obvious he was going to have a cameo of some sort, really, wasn't it? You can't have the main star from the first movie not feature in some form or capacity in this sequel. So it's going to be cool. So let's talk about the new movie. And so, like I said, it's out on July 16th. And it's on HBO Max, as I said. But let's go back to the first Space Jam. And what did I think of the first Space Jam? The first movie, as I said, great movie, fantastic movie. The hype around this movie at the time was unreal. I know I say this a lot about certain movies, but hype around Space Jam was one of those where it was like merchandise, tons of merchandise. I remember like the Pogs, the adverts for it. It was so big at the time, Space Jam, and I think it was, it's due to like the how big Michael Jordan was at the time. He's a huge mega star, and people. I don't think Looney Tunes was especially big But I feel like this is sort of like give them a bit of a rebirth really at the time. And then I know we've seen a few little spin-off. I remember there was one with Brendan Fraser, and I think he had like a Looney Tunes movie. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a Brendan Fraser one. But I really enjoyed the first movie. I thought it was just dead fun. I thought the characters were in it were really good, especially watching Seinfeld recently. And it's got the guy who was in Jurassic Park, and he played Newman in Seinfeld. He was in the movie. Bill Murray, he was in the movie as well. It was a great cast. I just a fun movie. You know, it was entertaining. It was for the whole family. Everyone could watch it. Everyone could enjoy it. And I think that's the best thing about Space Jam and Looney Tunes. It was just daft. It was silly. But it was for everyone to enjoy, and that was the best thing, the one big selling point for Space Jam, and that is why I really enjoyed it as a kid. It was just a fun movie all round. But Space Jam 2, what am I looking forward to? Am I looking forward to seeing LeBron James in this? And again, LeBron James, he is another guy who, you know his name. I think a lot of people know who LeBron James is. They know he's a basketball guy. They know him. They can picture him in the head. They know who he is. If you see a picture, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's LeBron James. That's what I get anyway. Again, I don't watch basketball. I don't even know what team he plays for. I don't even know if he's still... I think he's still playing, isn't he? Still he's not retired yet as of yet. But I'm excited for it. I like the trailer. I've rewatched it this morning just to get a grasp of the trailer and to see what it's like. I like the idea that... Let me just grab some water, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, my throat's really dry today. Thank you very much. That was lovely, that water. I get the feel with this, right, watching the trailer, it feels like they're going for a Tron. It's like a Tron sort of concept. It's his son is basically doesn't want to be a basketball player. He wants to be a computer designer, a computer game designer. And then he goes into this serververse, they call it, and Don Cheadle is the AI character within this serververse, and he then makes up this squad of characters called the Goon Squad, who take on the Toon Squad, and obviously LeBron James is with the Looney Tunes, and then we see this battle to try and save his son, which is a cool concept, but the trailer looked very Tron-like watching it. I think the differences from the first movie are going to be the mass amount of characters in this one. If you look at the trailer, you've got a load of is it Hanna-Barbera characters? You've got like Fred Flintstone, all the Flintstones are in it. Yogi Bear, he's in it, and Boo Boo, they're also in it. We've got the Iron Giant. There's tons. King Kong, he was in it. I seen him in the trailer. Tons of different characters within this movie that are going to feature, which is going to be vastly different than the first movie. It's one where it looks like there's a lot of like space travel in it as well, which is going to be, maybe it's a bit more, a few more sci-fi elements to this one, which will be cool. But I'm excited for it. I think it's got everything the first one had, but it looks just slightly more updated, and it looks updated for a new modern audience. It looks like it's going to be very similar to the first movie, but very similar humour. But I think it's the Looney Tunes humour is always relevant, and I think there's always a place for Looney Tunes type of humor. I think like some humor, some cartoons ages poorly. I think like the Simpsons is probably one that is not aged great over time, but Looney Tunes still feels fresh. I watch like a lot of them old Looney Tunes episodes still, and I enjoy watching them. Like I watch them on YouTube and stuff like that. I just put like Looney Tunes on before I go to bed. And I enjoy them. I think they're funny, for me personally. But if you watch like some of the early stuff, I mean, some of the Simpsons early stuff is good, but I think some of it really hasn't like aged superbly well. But I'm excited for the sequel. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an entertaining movie, and I'm very excited to see this new concept of like LeBron James going into the serververse, and I think it's just a new take on it, and rather than going underground into the world of Looney Tunes. So it is going to be something to look forward to in July. So I feel like we've touched upon the topic of Space Jam. I forgot the title then. Space Jam. Now let's move forward to the rest of the show. So it's now time for some movie recommendations for the weekend in the segment that I like to call Movies for the Weekend. We're going to have to get some jingles sorted out for this. I'm going to have to get my guitar out, get the piano out, get some jingles sorted out. We need some jingles within the show. I think that's what the show is definitely missing. But movies for the weekend, movie recommendations from myself that you should watch this weekend, movies that I'm going to definitely watch this weekend. And let's start off, first of all, the topic of the show is Michael Jordan returning to Space Jam 2. So why not this weekend watch the first Space Jam? Maybe you've never watched it before. Maybe you want to watch Space Jam, or maybe you just want to revisit it after so many years. I've not watched this in a while now. So this is one I want to watch, and I'm going to watch this weekend. Space Jam, the original, 1996 was out. This was, as I said, the hype around this movie was unreal. Massive movie for the time, and a very enjoyable, entertaining family movie as well. So I'm going to watch that this weekend. If you're going to watch it, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you enjoyed that watch. The second movie I want to watch is sticking with the basketball theme. And this is a movie, let's name the movie first of all, Bud. Bud. If you've never watched the Bud movies, again, they're just very kid-friendly, family-friendly movies. These are let's describe my connection to Bud. I remember watching this movie as a kid a lot of the time. So it's basically this dog who finds this kid. The kid, I think it's one of his parents, I think it's his dad, just passed away. And then he starts doing basketball with the dog, and the dog's on the basketball team. And it's a really, really nice movie to watch. I really enjoy it. Again, it's just one of those movies as a kid I would watch constantly out on VHS. I would love watching Bud. It was really just a cool movie to watch as a kid. And maybe it's one of those where I'm going to watch it now and I'm going to be like, oh, maybe this was what I enjoyed as a kid, but now it's probably a bit too much for me. It's a bit too kiddie. But I'm looking forward to watching it, just sort of like have that bit of that nostalgia and see. Sometimes the nostalgia is good. Sometimes the nostalgia is bad, but maybe Bud will prove it to be a good point of nostalgia. Lost my words then, getting tongue-tied. But anyway, I'm going to do my recommendations for this week's movies for the weekend. Bud and the first Space Jam movie, both cool movies. So anyway, let's move on with the show. What have I been watching this week? I mentioned it last weekend. I was finishing off watching Time Bandits, and this was one that I had on the movie list for a while, something I wanted to watch. So I ended up watched all Time Bandits. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a really fun movie. Over some of the recent movies I've enjoyed, it was one I enjoyed. Definitely, it was up there with like. It was the way I described this movie. It reminded me of like a Labyrinth movie. It wasn't one of the best compared to recent movies like Justice League, King Kong versus Godzilla. But it was definitely. I mean, it's an 80s movie. It was fun. It was just magical. I liked the world that they were going into. I liked the characters. It was just something different, and I really enjoyed Time Bandits. It was something I didn't really expect to see, and I was expecting something different. I suppose with Time Bandits, right? I was expecting more of a Monty Python vibe because I knew it was like it had a lot of the Monty Python guys included, and I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Monty Python fan in the world. I don't mind Life of Brian; it's okay. But I wouldn't say I'm like sold and saying like, these are the funniest guys in the planet. For me, they're just not the best. I suppose that it just doesn't click with me like it does with other people. So I was a bit like skeptical. I was thinking, oh, maybe Time Bandits is going to be very Monty Pythonish, and I suppose it is in a way. But I like this movie. I thought it was a good movie, and I really would recommend watching it. It's definitely worth a watch as. So if you've got some spare time, sometime get Time Bandits watched. The other thing is now I'm looking for a show to watch. I finished Seinfeld. I need something. I need something in my life, something to watch. And there's no Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're still waiting for Loki to come out. So I've been browsing this week and I found a show called Derry Girls. And this is a show, it's set in the 90s. It's a new show on Channel 4 in the UK. It's on the 4 On Demand app. And there's like 2 seasons out so far, 2 series. And I thought I'd give it a watch, see what it's like. And I like some Irish comedy. It's an Irish comedy set in the 90s, and it's like set in Northern Ireland. And I like stuff like Father Ted. I think that's a really funny comedy. I like that. And I thought maybe give this a try, see what it's like. And I thought it was okay. It wasn't one, maybe I have to watch it a few times to really make my mind up on this one, but it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I watched. Nowhere near the level of Seinfeld, and I mean, it's hard to get that Seinfeld level of comedy. I feel like I need one show I started watching a while ago, and then I just ended up stopped watching it. Not that I didn't enjoy it; it was just lose track of programs. Is The Good Place, and I know the show is finished now with Ted Danson. I really enjoyed. I think I watched like the first season. That I really thought it was a great show, and that is something I've seen the box set on Amazon. I feel like I'm probably going to buy that, and make that an investment to watch, and that could be my show to watch for a while now. I just need something new to watch, and it's for me more in the evening time when I'm going to bed. I just like to put a comedy on and just chill out to a comedy. For years, it would be like 30 Rock, The Office, and like Two and a Half Men. I would just watch them constantly over and over again, them sort of comedies, Parks and Rec. And now I need something else, so maybe The Good Place is the one to go. But Derry Girls, if you like Irish humour, it's maybe worth a watch as well. It was funny enough. There was definitely funny parts in it. Again, at this moment in time, I've still not made my mind up whether it's something that is a really good show. I maybe a few more watches, a few more episodes, I'll be able to make a full sort of idea, a grasp of that in my mind. But anyway, that is what I've been watching this week as well. And what else have I been watching? I've been watching. I'm a wrestling fan. I've mentioned this on the show, done videos on wrestling and stuff like that. Big wrestling fan, and I've been reading 2 books I've read recently. Well, I'm reading one now, Slobber Knocker by Jim Ross, JR. Good old JR, the WWF, WWE, now AEW wrestling commentator. And I read his other book, Under the Black Hat. That was the first book I read by his the other month, last month, and this month I'm reading Slobber Knocker, which documents the start of his career into wrestling, and it's just fantastic. If you're a wrestling fan, I found it fascinating just reading his book and just hearing about all these stories. So I sort of thought, I want to watch some of these old wrestling sort of like shows, just to get a grasp of them, because I've never watched the old ones. I've always watched just stuff of my time from the 90s onwards, really. And I started watching the UWF and like old WCW, early Jim Crockett stuff. And maybe if you're not a wrestling fan, these are just going right over your head right now. But if you're still with me, you'll understand. And it's been fun just watching these old wrestling shows where Jim Ross was commentating on them, and just seeing these characters, these wrestlers from like the 80s, the mid 80s. It was really cool to see. I feel like I was just watching on YouTube, just watching some clips the other night, and it's just cool just to see how it's developed over time. The fleurs, there was like all the wrestlers, they had like perms, they had fleurs. It was the styles, the visuals, and everything. It was just so different from what it is now. But it's just really interesting to watch as a wrestling fan, and I really enjoyed that. So, if you're interested in books, Jim Ross's both of his books are amazing books. I really enjoyed them both so far. I have them on Audible. Just watch when I'm walking around, when I'm walking to work and stuff like that. Put them at Audible on. It's cool, and I really enjoyed them. So definitely check out them books. And if you're really enjoying the books, or you've read the books already, you've enjoyed them, check out some of these shows, what he was featured on. And it's just, I talk about movies on the channel. This is a movie channel. We talk about TV. But the storylines and stories of wrestling, I feel is just so like mixed in with movies and TV sometimes. To me, it's like watching a TV show. It's not watching. It's called sports entertainment, and sports entertainment is just, it's like a soap opera on TV with these dramatics of these fights and these fights going on screen. It's so cool to watch. I love wrestling. I'll always love wrestling. But anyway, I believe, ladies and gents, that is the show for today. I think I'm gonna have to cut it a bit short because my voice is cut out a bit. I think I need to. I feel like I'm coming down with some sort of throat sort of thing going on here. My throat feels really poor at the moment, so I feel like it's going to be a bit of a shorter show today. I've cut it a bit short for that reason. But thank you for staying along with me and watching the show, ladies and gents. It's been a fun show discussing Space Jam 2. Let me know your thoughts on Space Jam 2. Are you excited for it? What do you think Michael Jordan's role will be within that movie? What sort of cameo are you expecting, and what sort of cameo do you want to see in the movie? Let me know all your thoughts. If you enjoy this video, please do give it a like and check out the rest of my movie-related content. And thank you very much for watching, as always. And as always, I will see you next time.